Dun, 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 dun. Yes. Series Jest here. You're tuning in to the Champions Cup Season 15 final. That's right. It's going to be turn 25, Never Forgotten Dwarves, coached by BernieBuffon versus former champ. All ready for the Champions Cup Season 15, and that's Gimlick and his Swedish Wolves, a Necro team. I'm going to get my co-announcer into the booth now. Just give me a second.
Hello, hello.
Triperis, what's going on?
Jesty.
Yes,
Not much,
sir.
not much.
Ladies and gentlemen, my co-announcer in the booth, former Champion Cup champion. Season 9, I think? You won?
I don't know, and I'm not
One
sure.
of them.
Yeah.
Well, you got a championship under your belt. So I have a former champion to lend credibility to the stream. Today we will be focusing more on the action on the field than analysis. However, it's always good to have an expert in the booth that we can refer to, and he can say stupid or not stupid move.
And also you have Almighty Trippers.
There you go.
All nonsense and nothing.
Super excited. The Ukrainian devil, they call you, I heard. Your opponents call you the Ukrainian devil. That's the word on the
Fuck
street.
you.
That's a fitting response. So let's turn to these actual teams now. I wanna highlight the two teams that are playing. I don't think they've taken the field, right? Not yet.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, let me know.
We would be hearing Bernie all
Yeah.
around.
Bernie, we're ready to go.
With that me.
He's actually asking me, yeah, if we've gone live yet. Well, I'm just telling him we're doing pregame analysis. All right, so let's do some pregame analysis just in looking at the teams blandly, and then we can take a look at really quickly, who's the leader per se, who's done some stuff on the field. Individuals have through their performance actually singled themselves out player wise. But first off, let's take a look at the home team. All right, the home team is turn 25, Never Forgotten. If you don't know the story about Bernie's Dwarves, in season 1, BernieBuffon, a young then little known coach in the Blood Bowl community, BernieBuffon had been making strides and getting his name out there by getting wins against some major players. We didn't know who this Bernie guy was, but he was naming his players after famous Blood Bowl coaches, or famous in the PS4 community, and causing quite a stir in a good way. Getting it out there. He's a creative guy, had a lot of eagerness behind him, and he came on the scene with his Dwarves in the playoffs. And Bernie learned the hard way on a world stage that there is no such thing as turn 25 in Blood Bowl. Overtime ends at 24, and then there are penalty kicks. So having the opportunity to score in turn 24, Bernie decided not to go for the GFI or whatever he needed and just set himself up for an easy score in turn 25, and then lost in penalty kicks to a tree for the Wood Elf team that was against him. So famous story, and now this season, still with no championships under his belt, but many, many, many playoff appearances. BernieBuffon
Do
returns
you
dwarf
know
team.
this was not out of inexperience? Among other stories he tells, which might or might not be true, is that he was working for 50 years for Games Workshop, so promoting those. So that
I
was
don't think he said 50
even more
years,
hilarious.
but he did. I think he did
Well,
say he used to
30
work
at
for
least.
Games Workshop at one point. But yeah, anyway, I think his story. I've never heard him say otherwise. He say he admitted at the time he just didn't realize. I've heard a few coaches have that issue. They didn't realize they've never gotten that far, right? And then when penalty kicks happen, I mean, I've told people before, hey, yeah, if you go to turn 25, it's a penalty kick, and they laugh. They thought I was kidding, and then they actually see their players kicking penalty kicks, and it's kind of a funny thing. But yeah, so they lost, and now he's back trying to get his first championship ever with this turn 25 never forgotten team. Trippers, when you look at this team, what do you see? Who stands out?
Well, I have to say one thing certainly stands out, but I want to give a little bit of personal story why it stands out. Well, when I started learning Blood Bowl, I was doing so with dwarves.
Right.
And since I played so many games with them, I just never wanted to bring them to proper leagues or Champions Ladder. But one season I was so pissed off at my terrible luck season before, I wanted to play something I know how to play dwarves. And I was doing very, very miserably that season. I was tryharding the hardest I have ever tried in that in CCL, and I was getting jack shit. And then again, one other coach, really lovely streamer, a little bit volatile, Calcium Cass,
Right.
qualified dwarfs, and he is certainly a good, even great coach. But from our head-to-head games and generally how he played others, I felt I am well. At least slightly, but significantly better coach in general. Well, it's subjective, of course,
Right,
but
right, right.
I was asking myself why, how? I mean, I was tryharding so hard. It is a team I'm comfortable with, and he's most comfortable with Chaos. And I was asking why, how you made that run possible without any of backstory? Just open question. How? Well, he said first level. He was not intending to qualify dwarfs. And he was playing just for fun, and first level up on his team was strength up on runner. So.
So you think key is the mercy flush?
Yeah, definitely. Strength for runners, especially coupled with agility, no less, is such a pain in the ass on dwarfs, and I think it's the most significant player you can get strength up on. Dwarf side, dwarfs are really resilient and it's really hard to break their cages. Admittedly, Bernie has not that many stand firm, only two, but whoa, when you can like stun one cage of a corner and whatnot, you still have both guard all around and strength for waiting there.
Right.
So.
Yeah, so
The
aside
best
from
you can
that,
do is force potato play.
and I'll quickly agree with you that I believe that this is the guy that stands out, Mercy Flush, named after one of the most likable guys that you'll ever talk to, and also an admin in the PS4 community and in the PC
I
community.
have
He's the only.
I have to add, he's the only likable admin on PS4.
Oh, shots fired. So Mercy Flush also not only he's the only admin who's an admin on two platforms. He's also a PC admin. But Mercy Flush, Strid 4, Agi 4, that's the only guy that really stands out big. The movement on Mighty Chaz 007, the other runner, is probably very useful too. Everybody else is pretty much standard dwarf built with a stand firm guard and mighty blow. And Bernie plays him, he utilizes the strengths. So I'm being informed that the teams are taking the field, so we're going to have to zip through this next one, okay? So I'm going to get to Gimlet's Wolves real quickly. Let's see here. The Swedish Wolves, let's find them. And there they go. All right. You got to do this one quick, Trip. What is your standout? What immediately grabs you about the Swedish Wolves?
The one thing that immediately grabs me is I have become. Other than that, of course, as customary for Gimlick, there's Mighty Blow Wolf, fully developed, and also even more dangerous than that wolf, there's Jump Up Island on White.
Right, and in agreeing with you, again, I will say that when I lost to the Swedish Wolves, when my High Elves lost to these Wolves in the semifinal, and after Bernie had tipped me on purpose, which meant he was wishing me to lose, I said, that was a dumb move because I think that the Dwarves match up well with High Elves, with, all the tackle, the counter, the dodge. And meanwhile, now he has to face the claw of two wolves, one with Mighty Blow Claw, which Dwarves hate, and also Dwarves hate Pylon, and Dwarves hate two dirty player zombies that Gimlick has shown time and again he is very, very, very willing to use. All right, so we got the Swedish Wolves are at 2030, and the Dwarves turn 25, never forgotten, is at 1870. So, man, that's by my quick calculation. What did I say the first one is? 2030? Yeah, so that ends up being 160, which means Bernie can pull a wizard and a babe if he goes standard, right? If he spends the 40K from the financial fair play rule and the 160 he's down in team value. Also, really quickly, while I find this game, we don't have time to go. I was going to go into the actual, which players are leading in stats categories, but we really don't have time for it as the teams have taken the field. So I'm just going to go straight to load up Cabal TV, see if I can find the match there. While I'm doing that, I want to give a shout out in the chat to the real Shad, who says, "What's up?" Shad is our current champion right now, right? Until somebody wins this match. Am I right about that?
One and only the Mighty Shard.
Mighty Shard. There you have it. And Onania, who I think goes by another name, his PS user ID.
Abonan.
Is it Abonan?
It's all about bananas.
Yeah. There we go. He says, "Oh man, bananas. All admin final. Can we say hashtag rigged?" He says if the zombie, I think he said if the flesh golems can tie up multiple long bears each, then Gimlick will be in a good place to control the wolves.
You will like inducements. I like them.
Oh, tell us, what are the inducements?
No, you have to see.
Okay, wait. So I have to actually, see on the field? And meanwhile, Shad says
just load the game.
6 guards on Gimlick's team will be a huge factor. Yeah, that's a huge factor. I mean, for Necro to get that much guard, it's unnatural. So if you're looking for if you're looking at Bernie's one player and maybe the second guy with the 7 movement and calling them stat freaks, anything that is quite possibly very, very outdone by 6 guard pieces on Gimlick's team. Only 2 of them, I believe, are the is it 2 flesh golems and then 4 zombies? No, or is it 3 zombies? They got the guard, and then you got the 2 flesh golems, and then maybe the white. In any case, it's a whole lot of guard. We'll count it up, and we see everybody loading up their defense.
1 zombie was left on bench, actually.
He left a guard zombie on the bench? Yeah. And as the ball is kicked off, there's a blitz! Woo! Turn 25, starting off on defense, and this is not what the Necro wanted to see. And Bernie picks a death roller. Death roller. Is that what's a so?
Death.
What is a death roller normally 150K? Am I remembering that right?
I think it's more expensive than 150K.
Well, if you buy it on the field, it's an extra 30, right?
It's 160.
160
so
plus another 30. So
yeah.
190. So with financial fair, so he just used his petty cash and put none of his own cash in there in the final. Am I right about that? So it looks like, because I don't think financial fair places only another 40, which you can't buy anything with just 40. So then Bernie
like interestingly enough, he has 4 euros, so I presume he bought that for final.
Could be. Right. Well, yeah, I think but he had that before when we were doing the team analysis. So he was down 190K in TV, and he decided to use it on a roller. So interesting choice. And it could pay off, or it could be terrible. I know Gimlick doesn't like wizards, so I'm a little surprised he rolled the roller.
With Blitz and short kickoff, Bernie must be feeling a win by now. You just need to move both short legs and let it rip.
I'm changing sides, by the way, so that I'm behind the Necro, even though the home team is turn 25, but Necro's on offense. So we're going to look at it from the Necro side. And the chat is awesome. Abanad asks Shad, do you have any final decrees in your waning moments as champ? And Rio Shad says, I'll be back. And he says, and then he qualifies it by saying, not soon, but sometime after the World Cup.
He does have a mighty camera team.
So Onani, so Abanan points out, oh wow, okay, that does change things. He's right. Bernie is a wily guy. So he has the stadium enhancement, which we didn't have time to check. The stadium enhancement for Bernie is I'm trying to get it up here. Oh, failed GFI. Time to use one of those 4 rerolls.
No,
MIRight.com gets that guy, the one we were talking about, mercy flush into the ball. Bernie has a knuckle altar at his stadium, which makes all-star players worth 50K less. So, see, I didn't realize that the roller counts as a star player, though. Huh. That's weird. He's not really he's a mercenary.
I don't think so.
But yeah. He's right, though. But I guess maybe... Wait. I think the roller might be organic. Bernie might have just bought the roller then, and we didn't notice it.
Could be. Yeah, if he had cash. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So the roller must be part of the team. So the inducement is this Boomer, the star player. He's got the Bombardier on the line. So I really don't know what the inducements are.
To come back. Who cares? There's some blood on the pitch.
So we got nice weather. We got Boomer the Bombardier out there. That's a game changer too. You got to worry about him all the time.
But I would like to point out, Bernie always likes to complain that everybody's lucky but him, despite him taking 5-game Brits to final, and now we have it documented even more so. In a game which was supposed to be really, really tight, now Bernie is certainly in full control mode.
Sure, the blitz is lucky, but I mean this game is going to be full of luck at different times, so you can't just say that this is it could be game determinative.
At this point of time, he is at clear advantage.
Sure, I agree with that. And Wolf number 10. So Gimlick pointing out his wolves like to die or get hurt. Wolf number 10 does not take kindly to Girdlia being around the ball. So I guess it was a fail. You got me caught up here, Chip. It was a fail on the catch. Yep, it was. He just needed a
Yeah,
3
yeah.
plus to catch it, and Mercy Flush did not catch it under pressure. And
But that's a
Gurglia,
very terrible bounce.
yeah, absolutely.
Because Ghoul with GFI would have to go on the line and get served, or would have to pass to the rest of Ghoul. Well, Gimlik is in no rush. He's looking for blood.
Yeah, and
First
here's the
come,
thing: is like
first serve.
dwarves with all of this guard and stand firm. Normally, they really fear claw because if you lose a few dwarves, that really could turn. That takes away your strength, right? Dwarves need to be standing together side by side to kind of help each other out, or in close proximity to each other to really effectively use that guard because they're not terribly strong, but they have a lot of guard and they hit hard. So they like to try to stand together, stand as a unit, outnumber you, and then cut your numbers down. And when their numbers get cut down instead, the game can go quickly south for them. However, Bernie's got 4 people in reserve on the sidelines, so a full team of 16 has taken the pitch today. Gimlik also
But
with 14
Necro is
players.
also but Necro is also a weak team for Dash. 2 strength loss is really nothing to write home about.
Yeah, the claw though it makes a difference against dwarves. So that's a big deal.
But that's all about positioning because well, with that amount of mighty blow and whatnot, it's really more about whether you can outrun them, which could have been something. Well, with your pass, I need a pass in my life. Absolutely,
this is gonna have to be a pass because he can't GFI anymore. So this is a very risky move. He fails to throw at first. Of course, this is gonna be a reroll, but he's put himself in a position where he's about to get surfed. So that ghoul was, is really literally about to take one for the team because he needed to grab that ball and then get the ball over to that wolf. He fails the pass though under all this pressure. And he is in serious danger of being surfed right now.
Once more terrible scatter. It's third time the scatter was terrible. One was on field catch from the dwarf. Second time was after blocking, and now inaccurate pass scattered in a place where our big superstar of the game, Mercy Flush, can easily be freed and potato to create all sorts of problems. So, base.
Abaddon points out that he likes the throw. Obviously, we all like the throw. You had to make that throw. But he doesn't think the GFI was necessary. I think the factor with the GFI might have been that if he didn't GFI, interception became possible by Mercy Flush. Correct. Who is an Agi 4 guy? It still would have been a 6 plus. But, so then the question becomes, is it more important to protect the new guy and not give him the chance of rolling a 6 on the interception? And I think Gimlik just said, look, right now I need to get the ball in the hands of that wolf. And if it costs me a ghoul right now, then, it costs me a ghoul, whatever. So, but let's just for shits and giggles while we're waiting for, we got the 3-minute timer.
Bernie's doing that fine, Fox.
Yeah. While we're waiting for that, let's look at what the actual rolls were. So he got a 5 on the going for it. So if he had thrown it without going for it, it would have been a failed interception anyway because he had 2 people. While he's an Agi 4, he had 2 people on him, which means he would have still needed a 6 plus. Am I right? Covered by 2 tackle zones. Okay, so it would have been. So he would have failed the interception, and then the throw itself would have been a 1. He would have had to re-roll it, and the re-roll would have been a 3. Would that have been enough? Was it a 3 plus throw? No, right?
He failed.
It would have been 50%. So he would have failed anyway.
He failed on 3.
The only difference is that now his ghoul is in position to be surfed, but Bernie decides not to try the 1-die surf. Do you think you would have tried the 1-die surf? Or would you have gone for the ball here?
Yes. Well, I would have certainly tried to serve a ghoul because ghouls do not regen, and obviously zombies quite a lot of a downgrade.
So a lot
Interesting,
of
Bernie does not potato deep. Uh,
well, Bernie's
instead,
probably thinking that's his most valuable player right there, right? And he doesn't even. The guy doesn't even have dodge. Even if he did, there's a Strength 3 wolf back there, furry paws, with claw and mighty blow. And there's other players like this white Mercy the Great, and then he's got 2 players named after Mercy. That's how much he respects Mercy. And he's got the ghoul Don't Die Again, who could get back there to provide the assists. So I think if he potatoed, Bernie knows that he's risking losing not only the ball, but his best player, all in one shot. I think it was very patient of him not to surf that ghoul, the new guy, even if it gives the ghoul the opportunity to avoid the surf the next turn, because he saw the better opportunity to get the ball.
And you see Bernie rerolls now, just to protect his ball carrier.
Yeah, but he has the ball.
You see, the option I was thinking of is forcing for and death roller stun.
The death roller stuns himself in a both down situation. So that's both players that stun, right? Hurt the skull, hurt the stiff, and the death roller.
I think in general, I'm not sure which play is better, but you would prefer Gimblick to roll the dice, not yourself to get half-assed cage, just potato and mark everything. You would need to roll dice so much less because you don't need to dodge away from people. You need to get next to them.
Wait, so I'm looking at inducements. Bernie had... So with bank, 200. He must have made some adjustments to his team and the TV at the end to get where he needed.
They both did, because Gimblick certainly had too many players.
Oh, so
I think at some point he had 3 Delta players.
Okay. So they both made last minute.
I'm not sure if it's
Boomer's really
last
cheap.
minute, but yeah, and Boomer is really cheap. With stadium enhancements, it's like 10 or 20k.
Okay. Well, I mean, he knows what he's doing. I'm sure. I mean, both of these guys are admins, so I'm sure the financial fair play rule was not violated. But yeah, so the inducements apparently were the roller and Boomer. So the roller is not a player he bought. It was just straight up, which to me then says, why do that? He's going to cost you 30k more if you buy him as a mercenary, right? You might as well take your gold and buy him, unless he didn't have enough gold to do that.
I'm not sure how much gold, and you can't just assume that every coach is carrying gold loader as if that's MML.
Right. All right, here goes the attack by Furry Paws, who is not as cute and fun-loving as he sounds.
I like it. I like it very much from Gimblick. Do notice now dwarves are paying full price for being compact, and now Necro will have several turns of when they control blocks, and that agility fall. Runner is not in any commanding position to just dodge away and potato now. So potato is off the books until he can recover. And the way this is set up, Dwarves will have like 1-2 blocks, while Necro in that scrum next to ball will have 3 or 4 blocks a turn, if not more.
I'll tell you what, the decision of Bernie to keep the Troll Slayer on the sideline definitely takes away one of the Dwarves' major weapons. Because now Necro can do this. They can set up along a sideline like that and have no fear of getting surfed.
Lately, in general, as far as metagame goes, I see a lot of people actually neglecting troll slayers or take, taking one at most, but mostly no troll slayers, despite dwarfs having a very generous TV 1000 roster and affording all the troll slayers they want. And
So Gimlick
now
leaves.
that's why I say Surf was important.
Right. And now he's just lost the ghoul. It
And
was
do
cure.
notice casualty was 2, so if that was a regular armor break, the 10 would go to armor breaks, and the 2 would pretty much guarantee
Yeah, it would have been
the
an 8.
ghoul
It would have still
would
broke his
leave.
armor because it was an 8 on the casualty. Oh well, yeah, that's a
No, it would
three-sided
have
die.
broken armor, but it would have KO'd him at best.
Right. Yep. So yeah, I was wondering about that decision by Gimlick to follow up with the ghoul because I thought it put him in back in surfing range again. Um, Gimlick's a good coach, so I'm wondering why he continues does he just not care about that ghoul? Why he continuously put that ghoul out there to get surfed like that? Because he felt like he needed to do
Uh,
it.
I can't really tell. Usually, each coach is thinking several turns ahead, which is
That's
oh,
huge.
lucky Bernie, lucky
The
Bernie.
armor
Everything
8
is
flesh
going his
column.
way.
He's only got an armor 8 though, so the armor
Mighty
break
blow comes into effect.
he did
Yeah,
only if he was armor
and he
9.
rolls pause and pause, pause and pause.
If he was
Yep,
armor 9, he would
that's a
not have
very
made
long
that.
string. That's very long string of good dice.
Um, but the dwarves are laying a pounding on the necro right now, and I mean, the ghoul is definitely Gimlet's fault. The flesh column, even with the thick skull, makes it even tougher to remove those guys. So when you're able to remove one, it's a big deal. Now
Yeah,
Gimlet's got to be a little worried about this turn. This was supposed to be his offensive turn to run down the field and whittle down the dwarf forces. Instead, now it looks like Bernie's
ooh,
going to get to
interesting.
slowly plod down the field, beating them up, thinning their forces, and then get the ball back. And oh, another injury! Mercy the Great this time is injured. That could put him out of
At
the
least
game.
region works. Region
However,
works.
he's coming back. We will see him again.
Yeah, Bunny is in full control. Greed reroll paid off in removals, and if you are Gimlick, you just have to stay focused at this point. Certainly, he had pretty much every roll going against him so far.
Yeah, and they turn after a while.
Except Deprola taking him out himself, but other than that.
Here's another
Do
thing.
note
Here's what I don't
dwarfs
understand
will
from
be
Bernie.
weaker.
What I don't understand from Bernie is this is not his first time using Boomer. I've seen him use it before. Why not use Boomer every turn?
I don't know, maybe
He
it's
hasn't just been
final
sitting
pressure.
there. I mean, it's pretty
He
much
also
a free
didn't
blitz.
stand up his Death Roller,
Yeah,
who
it's
was
pretty
not
much a
stunned
free
at that
blitz.
time.
Every time you want to throw with Boomer, throw a bomb, throw it, see what happens.
Well, it's not exactly safe because one would end your turn, but as your last action, it's almost.
Wait, say
One
that
thing
again.
well, since rolling a 1 would end your turn,
All right, it's not
if
exactly
you
safe in the way the chainsaw is.
yeah,
Right. But you still use him at
yeah,
the end of the turn. And Bernie's turn's been ending.
yeah.
I don't think he's been turning over a lot, has he?
I think Bernie is now in ultra safe mindset, a mindset I really don't like because that makes you very predictable and one-dimensional. I think what he's afraid is somebody catching the bomb and throwing it at his runner.
Sure.
Because normally Boomer is a defensive piece,
Right.
generally.
That's what
And
Abaddon
now,
said.
but Bernie is somebody with everything to lose.
Right. Well, he's doing well so far. And actually, let's switch the camera view over now that the Dwarves have the ball. I think it's only right.
I think you are justified in that decision.
Yeah, this ball's not coming back to the Necro anytime soon.
But the way Bernie played this out, I really could see. Well, scratch that.
See,
I thought
this is the
turn was
thing.
over.
Gimlick keeps leaving his players over by the sideline like that, and they don't have sidestep or stand firm.
Yeah, but oh, another
Yeah, that's
injury.
another injury on the Necro.
Another
Regen
region.
fortunately worked, so this could be a tale of two halves because the players will still mostly be
It
around
could
except
be.
for that ghoul.
But
But
the way how early both injuries are coming in, one has to pretty much assume Bernie now scores at turn 8. So that pretty much says that Gimlick absolutely has to score a defensive touchdown, which is always tricky with strength 4 ball carrier who just you can sit in the cage and let them come, and obviously you do have God, you do have Mighty Blow. You will win her base battle each day, every day.
and Mercy in the chat saying so. Bernie just mostly his strategy with Boomer anyways because he has block. He just uses him as cannon fodder. AV9 and block. He doesn't like using them for the bomb purposes. And also, as Mercy points out, yes, sir, Regen definitely keeping Gimlick alive in this, at least potentially.
He's alive, but he is still suffering
Oof,
defensive touchdown with
another
everyone
removal.
going off the pitch.
This entire half has belonged to the Dwarves. And at this point, Abadan is saying Gimlick's best move is to try to force Bernie to score by T7, so at least he gets the one-turn TD attempt. Midway asking the question.
Might be thinking about leaving his players prone just so he has
and just let him go. That
because
could be a
this is certainly
strategy.
a
And just say,
steamroll.
let's get to the second half and forget this. Midway
Because,
Monster in the
how
chat
many
saying, is
monsters
this why
he
people
has
hate
he
dwarfs so much? Could be.
And
Yes, so
and
Mojo,
admins as well.
this was Gimlick's drive. There was a blitz, and that's why Bernie has the ball. So now it's back to the Necro. They've got 6 players left.
At least this time the throw is up.
The what?
The throw is up, at least, not forgotten.
I didn't understand.
The throw.
Oh, the pro. Okay.
Keep rolling, rolling.
Gotcha.
It's very tricky to be in Gimlick's shoes now. One would really not like to give up blocks in his shoes anymore. He can't fight 2 for 2 even with lucky blitzes with removals. He would need what 3-4 turns to just get even.
Right.
And his white is based and will certainly be hit. Yes, Fleshy will be hit. So this is
That's
just
the power of claw.
He doesn't have Bernie's dice bow.
No, just a stun that time.
So he's still giving away 3 blocks next turn. And Bernie has quite enough players just to base and get all the blocks. Kind of why I would be thinking about just laying prone.
Well, don't think that Bernie won't foul him, though, if he just lays prone.
Let him foul. Well, but, his legs are short. You can still... you still have a say where you fall down a little bit.
I think that Wolf is about to take a shot.
Yeah, definitely. You absolutely have to take a shot on him. The problem is these are now elves and it's not easy to disconnect, and Bernie can easily set up like 3 safe blocks each turn, while Gimlick would struggle to set up 1 good blitzer, or at least one blitz on a good player.
Right. So how's he gonna play this? Maybe he won't. I don't think he is gonna. Actually, I don't think he's going to go after the wolf. Maybe. I think.
Well, his jump up guy is still pretty much in range, but he does not have anyone to assist. He has just should have assisted with Blitzer.
He can get 2 GFIs over there to assist, or he can get.
Yeah, but you really do not want to GFI at this point.
Is he going to use Boomer to throw at this point?
I doubt that. He would take out 4 dwarves.
Not if he throws it beyond the zombies on the other side, right? So yeah, he decides not to go after the wolf.
Yeah. At this point, it's everything to lose for Bernie, and he has such a significant advantage.
Right.
Absolutely.
So we can expect to see 4 more turns of this.
Yeah, definitely so. Actually, scratch that. I would even think about baiting with foul because with region removals this half do not matter anymore. Well, they matter a little bit for Gimlick, but for Bernie they do not matter. He does not need any more removals to score this drive. Thing is, with region, of course you have to keep your ghouls safe, but with region, KO or casualty is only 50-50 that you are not available for next drive, while sending off is quite permanent. And Gimlick does need to get lucky at this point.
Neko trying to decide how they want to play this at this point. And they're going to send another ghoul possibly to the slaughter. Don't Die Again runs over and bases up Stuntman Didi.
Tackle Palingon, yeah.
Ooh. And Nuffle says
he does not need
no.
No.
Oh, that was risky. For that reason alone, now it's a 1-die. Oh, that's...
It's not good.
Oh,
Giving away block
when it rains, it pours. This is...
and again, zombie is based. Who will be blitzed.
This could get really ugly.
I really don't like this. And another zombie is alive as well.
Yeah, I don't like that move. It's almost like Gimlick is just panicking at this point.
I'm not sure if that's panic. At least when I sometimes have that mindset, you kind of become too laser focused, and you do not consider all the possibilities. You just have one game plan and try to execute that, regardless whether it's a good game plan or not. And at this point, he is obviously trying to take out as many dwarfs as possible, but I think if you stopped and fought, the price he's playing is just too big.
So somehow Wolf number 10 survives the initial punch, and the lack of the follow-up suggests to me that Bernie is not going to try to go after the Wolf again on this turn. So Gimlick getting away with one there, in that if he lost... Right now, this half has gone to shit. He knows it, Bernie knows it, all of us know it, but the fact that regen worked means that the second half is kind of a new ball game, with the exception of, is that flesh golem going to come back? That'll make a big difference, and that ghoul is gone for good. But other than that, Gimlick's, he can field a decent team in the second half. If he loses the wolf, though, now he's going to be facing some real problems.
Indeed, he will. Not need to get lucky, but I would postpone risk-taking moves to second half. Interesting, Bernie just gave away a 1-die blocker on his Longbeard, just like that. Well,
So
of course, it's a frenzy trap, but you know,
just
Gimlick is going for killers.
another interesting choice, though, to do it that way.
It's a free blocker for goal.
Right.
And Ben is never punished. The only player punished in this game is Gimlick so far. He's punished for everything.
I have to say, I believe at this point,
the real turning point was when Fleshy was cast out, because with that Fleshy still present, I thought Gimlick could set up a situation where he gets more blocks than Dwarfs, but that went to shite.
Yeah,
Fast.
I mean, look, he got some tough luck in the beginning of the game, but that's, I mean, just Bernie has been playing brilliantly, and Gimlick has made some moves so far that seem to be out of frustration. Or,
yeah, but I think frustration happened after, because up to Fleshy removal, I feel Gimlick certainly did all the smart moves.
So the pylon, Bernie's really going after those ghouls. Bernie's like, regen's not working for me, so I'm going to try to remove all the ghouls.
He has jump up, he has numbers, so he does not need resist.
I think it's a free shot on the wolf, an armor break, and there's the KO. Now he's got two players that he has to hope will come back for the next half, and there's not even like a turn 8 where he gets 2 shots at the KO returns. So he really has to kind of get lucky with these. And there you go. And Bernie's it's gonna be a couple more turns of this.
And now, after counting all what was happened after, well, ball recovery became pretty much impossible, we can see that Gimlick's plan just to blitz one guy at a time really did not yield any profit whatsoever. He's the one losing players, and not Bernie.
Yep. And that's the thing, is like it's when everybody can see it, right? When you're watching a game like this and it's not happening to you. Oh, look at that.
Boomer.
The foul with Boomer. The referee says, enough of that. You guys are already beating the piss out of him, and now on top of that, you're going to foul them? Nah. Get out of here. And Boomer's kicked out. It's a little premature, but whatever. He was going anyway.
Yeah, it's really smart to foul him. Interesting, Death Roller is not taking a single block. He has Mighty Blow. I mean...
yeah, I guess the fear...
has forgotten.
Yeah, I think the fear from Bernie, like you said, right? Bernie is thinking, at this point, I have the clear advantage, and I want to leave as little as possible to dice as I can. So, if I roll this roller,
seen him justifying for shits and giggles.
He's thinking if something goes wrong with the roller, then that flesh golem gets freed up. Then the flesh golem can take off and help somewhere else. And I think Bernie is really happy keeping that flesh golem tied up.
No, that's still good value as far as positioning goes. But I mean, he does not have bribe. He is not keeping death roll. That flesh golem is in irrelevant position to ball for 3 or 4 turns. He did not end turns on turnovers.
Yeah, I can agree. I think that if you asked me, as a Necro coach, would I be willing to trade not moving my flesh golem to neutralize the death roller? I would do that. So I think in that situation, Gimlick is winning that little scenario. But I think Bernie's also just saying, you know what? I'm not leaving it up to chance. I got him tied up, and I got the touchdown, and I'm looking good for the second half, so I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, definitely. And I can't really blame Bernie. After all, Nuffle certainly gave him a very significant advantage, and he is doing his utmost and absolutely best not to squander it.
Right, and going back to the point I was making before, I didn't finish saying it's really easy for us to look at this, and we were able to see this by turn 3. This half sucks for the Necro team. There's no way you're stopping the touchdown, and the only thing that's going to happen is you're going to get beat up here. In the second half, you get your players back, you get that Mighty Blow Claw Wolf back, you get your Pylon White back, right, and then you potentially get, some of your knockouts back. But what you need to do probably now is just turtle up and try to limit the damage to your players. It's really easy for us to say that, scrap the half and just play the second half. But it's really hard to have the discipline to do it when you're the coach that it's happening to. You're like, at some level I'm bored. I don't want to sit here for an entire half and just let him do that. But now Gimlick has kind of played himself into a position where it's worse. Now he's got 3 players KO'd. He's really relying on the mercy of the dice that haven't been that kind to him to bring those players back the next half. And now, as a result of those decisions, the second half, this bad first half could snowball into a bad second half, whereas it didn't need to before. And the dwarves surround these remaining, the ghoul, the zombie, the ghoul and the 2 zombies. Flesh Golem still tied up by the roller. Bernie probably trying to decide whether he wants to finally take a roller shot at the Flesh Golem, which I think I agree with you, Trip. I think he should. Otherwise, you're just wasting that, that money that you had to get him on there. And Gimlick desperately trying to get the remaining white, Bernie died again, away from those dwarves who are looking at him with hungry eyes.
I had to take a small break.
It's fine. Yeah, I was wondering. You were uncharacteristically quiet.
Yeah.
And here you go. You're going to use a dirty player.
Yeah, that's about time. And on a go. So.
I told you, keeping them laying on the ground, and that's going to happen. Now there's no ghouls left.
Comes into effect.
And here, since we're in the final, Gimlick doesn't care that he's lost strength. That player's never going to play again anyway. The effective thing is that it's a casualty. He's hurt. He's gone. We're not going to see him again in this match.
I would like to point out on that point about how easy it is for us to say that the smart strategy would be to lay prone and accept you were muffled and limit the damage to your enemies. I think when you are playing, you need a very high tranquility to spot strategies like that when they become relevant. When you're actually playing, and we, of course, are all human and emotional people, especially when getting diced, and both situations do come only when getting diced.
Interesting decision, by the way. So, not to interrupt you, but we got action on the field. Mercy flush with the big score. Bernie decides not to risk quad skulls or something like that, and make a block to try to get an extra injury. Right in with
Bernie
Mercy flush.
Is playing ultra conservative.
Absolutely. And we're going to go into the second half just as we thought, 1-0. And let's see, this is some of the most important roles coming up for the Necro. Will the players return? Will the Flesh Golem return? Will the Wolf return? And I think it was another zombie that was hurt, maybe a guard zombie. So the Wolf comes back, the zombie comes back, the Flesh Golem stays out. Losing even one Flesh Golem is a problem for the Necro. Gimlick is definitely going to miss him. On the other hand, though, Bernie no longer has the roller or Boomer. So now he's got to play straight up. He's got one Troll Slayer left. And let's see if Claw does its job in the second half.
I would like one question, since you are pretty much expert on the field. Can Gimlick pull off some of his magic from semifinals to conjure this a win?
Oh, sure. The game, it's early, man. The second half, he's got a full squad out there. I mean, missing the Flesh Golem really hurts. It really, really does hurt. It's a guard player, strength 4. The AV8 makes him a liability anyway. But he's still got all that guard on the field. He's still got 2 claw pieces and a pylon piece. Yeah, this game is very much still a possibility. And you know, all he's got to do is cut down, you know, if he can remove just even a couple of these dwarf players to create a crease and then start to spread them out and whittle them out, Bernie could find himself in a position where that ball gets taken, and the speed of the Wolves is a game changer.
And if you're Bernie, do you switch it up and try to score as early as possible to make this an early win, or do you turtle up and put layers of dwarfs between Gimlick and the ball?
If I was the dwarf coach in this match, I would try to score in a way that is most protective of the ball. So yes, I would take this ball. I want to get this ball away from my end zone first of all. I want to keep it well protected as my primary concern. But if I see the opportunity to score and get in scoring position, yeah, I'm not stalling all the way through and scoring at the end. If I can go up 2-0, I would gladly go up 2-0.
Yeah, but as dwarfs, it's easier said than done just scoring because of how slow we are. Well, essentially, it takes some risks usually to move up up the field, and unless Bernie.
Oh, as the ball's kicked off, this guarantees the game is going to get even bloodier now. And a good thing that didn't happen. Good thing for Gimlick that the ref was not intimidated at the beginning of the first half because the roller would still be around.
Yeah, because Blitz was a much better result for him.
Yeah. Now we're just going to see a whole lot of fouling.
Yeah, not getting bribed was certainly the better result.
And Bernie can foul with the best of them. Bernie likes to act like he doesn't foul that much. Bernie fouls a lot when the opportunity is presented.
But Bernie is certainly a master of license subterfuge, and would like.
I wouldn't go that far.
Would like. He goes very far to play down his. Well, not exactly coaching ability. He puts it all on luck, and everybody else but him being lucky. But him somehow winning despite.
Yeah, that also describes pretty much every Blood Bowl coach, right? Myself included at times. If I lose, it's because you got lucky. If I win, it's completely skill. That's the Blood Bowl mantra.
I do.
Ooh, failed pickup there with the sure hands doesn't even work. And Mercy Flush dropping the ball literally and figuratively, giving the Necro the opportunity that they've been waiting for. The speed of those Wolves is deadly. And Gimlick knows how to capitalize on it. So could we be seeing the Necro steal that ball away?
And now opening bets, will Bernie complain about that failed pickup to mark as if this game was fair on Gimlick and Bernie was unlucky?
I'm getting the feeling you're using this platform to fulfill your BernieBuffon vendetta trip. All right. Will Bernie? Yeah, you'll complain about that. I complain
It's impossible. Best infinite depth.
Oh,
it's unfulfillable.
Oh, God. Well, at this point, Gimlick is going to need some decent luck to capitalize on it, though, because lucky for Bernie, at least, the failed pickup lands in the tackle zone of 2 dwarves, one of which the Necro will be able to get rid of. They're still going to have to make a pickup, maybe in a tackle zone. That could get tough, potentially in 2 if it goes really bad. Actually, because of the stand firm, that ball's not going anywhere.
No.
So that's going to be a 50%. Yeah. The wolf has the movement to get there, barely.
Risk it for a biscuit.
There's going to be some GFIs involved here. But the wolf can do it.
You have to put, white also with a GFI, but you absolutely have to try to pick up the ball and watch out.
Yeah. No, you're right. You have to. You cannot play at this point. You're getting your ass kicked all game. You have the opportunity to change it. That's the first piece. The guard on there is going to be crucial, and that means the wolf is going to get a shot on the stand firm piece, and then the question is he going to risk the dodge?
I don't like this.
So you would have done 2 GFIs with the white? Curious decision by Bernie to stand firm.
The white, the blitz I don't like. I would have picked up with that wolf.
That would have been a 33% pickup, though. So here's my thing,
you
right?
You have to get lucky. You have to get lucky.
But here's my thing: the stand firm. The stand firm was not used. I mean, was used, which was I think that may have been a knee-jerk reaction by Bernie. But look at the angle that the wolf came in on. Right, if he had not stand firm, that would have turned into a red die block, in which case the wolf would have frenzied himself into 3 tackle zones, and that player wouldn't be stunned right now. Now, here's the other thing.
I think it's just Bernie being Bernie in this particular game and playing as safe as humanly possible.
How is that safe?
Even with red eye, Bernie would expect a double pow. Trust me.
No, I don't. I think you're letting your Bernie hate consume you here. I'm going to very strongly disagree with that. There's no scenario in which standing firm and giving him another 2-die block is better than allowing him to frenzy into 3 tackle zones potentially, or at least 2 tackle zones, and making it a red die block. There's no way. In either case, that ball stays there in at least 1 tackle zone. Yeah, and then this ball's getting picked right back up by the Dwarves next turn anyway. But still, I don't understand why did Gimlick run out of GFI space, the movement, because he came in. Oh, he blitzed with the other wolf. Strange.
I think so. I think so. That's mostly because of how human brain works, and it's simple inertia. Bernie has been playing ultra-conservative all this game, and I'm pretty sure he assumes everything which worst can happen would happen on any given decision he makes.
Why didn't Gimlick move the other wolf? Why wasn't Furry Paws used?
He did move. He did move.
Oh, he did?
He did move like 2 or 3 squares.
I did. Oh, okay. So he was the one that was sitting back and couldn't reach the ball. Okay. All right. Now I'm less confused. Gotcha. So, but still, when wolf number 10 came in, I thought he had another movement. You know what? We're going to replay that because I have the power to do it with Kabal. So I'm going back to this.
He didn't have movement. That's why I said I would rather.
Look, so he blitzes with this wolf.
Take blitz with
4,
whatever.
5, 6, 7,
and dive on the ball and create Nuffle.
The first one was
what Nuffle give up to Bernie. It should have give up to Gimlick as well.
All right. So here's my. So okay, I guess he ran out of movement, possibly, but. What I didn't, that's a rule that I'm not aware of. So if you GFI, if you frenzy blitz somebody and they stand firm, the second block still counts as a movement square, even though you're not moving anymore. Okay, all right.
Each day, every day.
So the second block didn't allow him to go for the ball.
Irrespective of frenzy or not frenzy, blocking a stand firm consumes movement, regardless if stand firm is used or not.
Yeah, the other thing, Mercy, was saying also the, well, you don't roll for the GFI, though, right? On the second block if you stand firm.
You do roll. Yes,
you still roll for the second block as a GFI, even though you're not moving.
There is no negative side to stand firm.
Well, there was in that case. I don't care how you slice it. You can call it conservative, but you gave up a 2-die block instead of a red die block. There's no way
Yeah,
around it.
but that was because of decision.
Right. So, okay, so you're saying there's no drawback to it in that respect, and not getting penalized. And the hits just keep coming. Another 2 removals in the next turn by the dwarves. Claw just ineffective here, other than for stuns, but not causing any removals. The stick skull is a thing here, and the high armor is neutralized by the claw, but the thick skull is still in effect. This
I
is
would
nuts.
be starting to look at cage diving at this point.
Yeah, he kind of had to go for it.
Still take blocks, 1-die blocks if you have to get some attrition. But generally, at this point, first thing each turn, I would ask, can I cage dive now? Can I cage dive now, please?
Oh, so some more dice. I'm sorry for those watching. I've got the dice log up, trying to figure out when the wolf went for it. Success, going for it. The block. Okay, well, we'll figure it out later. In any case, the Necro trying to retaliate against these dwarves, and again, Necro, sometimes they're incorrectly seen as a bash team. They do have the claw pieces, who are pretty much kind of assassins, and the whites can be pylon beasts, but they're mostly a control. Oh god, with the one, Gimlick has really been risking a lot of 1-die blocks. This game pays for it.
Yes,
fortunately for him.
Yes.
That wolf did not get removed, but that's a big piece. That's an important piece right there to risk.
And do recall bribes are still there, and that wolf deserves a boot. So do recall Bernie does not need to score at all. So taking removals, even if Gimlick scores, it would be overtime. There's no chance in hell. Unlike in semifinals that he would win in regular time, so each removal counts.
I guarantee one of these wolves is getting fouled. Guaranteed one of them is getting fouled this turn. Just a question of which one. I'm sure Bernie would rather it be the Mighty Blow one, but he's with the golem there. I think Bernie's really contemplating whether he wants to waste his blitz on a stand firm piece that may just end up standing there anyway, or does he want to take a shot at somebody else? Does he want to potentially surf that guard zombie on the right side of the pitch that Gimlick has left again?
He's thinking how many players he can commit to fouling and still be safe. Do recall Bernie is in ultra safe mode, so. And there are a lot of things to consider. There's 2 dice available on zombie. Zombie can even be served. Also a white, but you just do not have enough players to do everything. Also, you kind of need to mug the other werewolf as well.
Yeah, the only issue is what are you going to blitz? Like I definitely saw that piece was sitting there, but who are you blitzing him with? I don't think he has any. The only piece that you can really blitz him.
1-die and provide the assist for a 2-die. I think at this point
who is he blitzing him with? The blitzer, Stuntman DD?
Or there could be a blitzer, blitzing. I don't think he is fouling.
He's not going to do it.
He has no expendable pieces to foul.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but he might risk it because
I would make
wolf.
better stuff, but it's interesting test of Bernie's mindset. It is a surf with a GF5, but you need to do a 1-die block first. Yeah. Ultra safe mode is confirmed, but it's not even taking a surf.
That is ultra because
does not apply.
Okay, he didn't blitz with this piece over here, so he went at the zombie. Okay, And then he's not gonna take the 1-die block on the pylon way.
Taking 1-die block, even if it's favorable, because I
It
don't
is
know
favorable.
why. He has a turn 4 ball carrier, even if he marks it's red die every day, and that's why strength for ball carrier is so important, because in this position, uh, let's assume the white would cage dive. It is a loose cage, so it's
Yeah.
unlikely but possible. And even then, if he cage dives, it's a red die.
I think Bernie is
Which
playing
they-
extremely conservative, which is either a show of great discipline, or it could end up being, what people say, you play too conservative and play yourself out of the game. If you get too conservative, you could be not aggressive enough, and then that could cause problems for you.
Yeah, but Gimlick is not getting anything out of this game. He can't get a single removal out of this. So Bernie can play however he likes, and being ultra conservative is even better for him, because at least he's not his worst enemy now. With Gimlick getting jack shit from the game, Bernie might as well cage up in several layers and skip turns.
There you go, the mighty ball. Oh, Nuffle is being so unkind right now. Gimlick's having to spend another reroll. I'm almost surprised that wasn't a double skull. Now his wolf, though, is stuck, based up by at least 2 players that can hit him without a blitz, and then also within the blitz range. So if Bernie wants, he's got 3 chances to go at that wolf, but he only needs 1. And Laser Trip is going to knock Furry Paws to the ground, but this is a tough wolf. He's not out. He's just down again. Gimlick's really moving his players
and
up
again,
and trying to put the pressure on.
Gimlick is falling under the same scenario first half, when he is essentially giving away more blocks than he's getting. He's not getting lucky in those removals. Well,
there's an armor break, but no removals.
With more blocks and better armor on fair dice, Bernie would win that game each day, every day.
And Bernie decides not to pile on with that player, so Stuntman Didi getting an armor break, and instead comes over and he's a team player. He's like, you know what? That guy's stunned. I don't need to take him off the pitch right now. Instead, I'm gonna come over here and help out my boy, Serious Jest, who stuns the dirty player zombie over there. I'm really surprised there's been so little fouling with free bribes on the team. That's free, not 3.
Well, I'm surprised Gimlick is not creating a fouling game. Well, he does have to keep Bernie occupied, because scoring second touchdown is death sentence for him, but there is nothing as deadly as fouling in this game. Individual foul might not count for that much, but if you can foul multiple turns, especially with his multiple
the
players.
Skulls keep coming. Oh, this is on Bernie's side. I thought that was the wolf. So Bernie gets a skull on the 1 die.
Bernie is greedy. He's absolutely greedy there.
You could say he's greedy, but I mean, if he fills that role, what happens? Nothing. It's a one player over there.
Happens.
So why not? Go for it. It's a 1 in 6 chance of failure. Anything else is good. And he knocks that wolf down. If you can knock a wolf out, go for it.
Yeah, but you see now, Bernie has spent half his rerolls, despite being in absolutely commanding position since turn 1. Well, turn 1 he failed his pickup, but after that,
something tells me this isn't going to overtime anyway. But there we go. Failed block, and the Necro are going to use their last reroll to get this done. He doesn't want that zombie surf. Gimlick has been leaving his players to be surfed like all game in high danger of being surfed the entire game. I mean, it could be that he's baiting Bernie to say, "Hey, waste your blitz doing that instead of blitzing me somewhere else." But
I think he's mentally not recovered from feeling. Well, since turn 3 or 4.
yeah,
I think.
it could just be frustration.
I think he's playing suboptimally in general. After that, he did play well, but also the way Ben is playing, it must be absolutely frustrating.
Because he's so conservative?
Yeah. Well, it's not terrible in a sense that it does give more opportunities for Gimlick, but Ben being so conservative, and Gimlick still not getting any removals. Forget removals, any stunts and whatnot, while his players are removed at will and at the start of the drive. All removals come at the start of the drive, and in last 6 turns there's just like 1, despite basing left and right.
Talking about basing, Serious Jest the Blitzer runs up and bases 2 of the zombies. So we can tell where probably the second blitz is going to come. Allowing Stuntman Didi to push back Nethios. Is that Nethios the zombie or Hethios? Hethios? Hethios the zombie. And now you got...
Yeah, Hethios.
And... we got the Godfather of the Champion Cup on PS4, Sam T in the chat. And he says... He's pointing out the possibility of a quad skull from the ball carrier and how that could be game-changing.
I think Bernie's mindset has changed after rolling that one-die block, which I called greed, because now he's looking for a surf.
Yeah.
He did plenty of blocks before doing a block with ball carrier, which is, well, I don't think what he wanted to do via the first block was in any way connected to previous blocks. So I think Bernie now switched off his ultra-conservative mode and just enjoying the game, I guess. Well, I would certainly. I think anyone would enjoy a game in his shoes. He was trying so hard. Well, I think I can't even refute. He was trying so hard to get this done, get this win of Champions ladder under his belt, and I think there is absolutely no player who tried harder than Bernie to win at any cost out there. So
what? I lost you somewhere, man. I feel like you just had a whole discussion, point and counterpoint with yourself on that. I don't. I'm not sure what you're. Wait, so I wouldn't say he's not conservative right now. What are you talking about? He's still got a cage over there. He's not really pushing the ball downfield. No, I don't see that. But Gimlick again with the big blue arrows. He's able to put a body on the ball carrier. But the dwarves again. I mean, look. So they've got so many bodies over there. You're not getting that ball free from them unless something crazy happens like quad skills. And the Flesh Golem knocks Flynn back, but not to the ground. And yeah, Gim's going to have to brave this one-die attack. And again, we're getting another big blue arrow. Nothing is working for the Necro. Look at that. Block on block.
And all game.
Yep.
All game. Gimlick was getting absolutely nothing from it. Bernie was unlucky twice when it hardly mattered. First pickup on which was not shallow enough for Necro to get advantage of.
There's something to be said for that, though, right?
Death Roller.
So just not to start calling out individual coaches, but a coach that's really good at doing that is Girdlio, who is like a perennial playoff contender here in the Champion Cup. He's often in the playoffs, but I noticed that like the good coaches are able to set it up so when they fail, when they get the 1-and-1s, when they get the double skulls, it's not devastating to them because it really doesn't matter that much. And Bernie set it up so that when he was unlucky, the couple of times that you pointed out, he set it up that it really didn't matter. Who cares if I get double skulls at this point? Who cares if I get double ones at this point? Because I've set my guys
I
up.
wouldn't say that's special. I would say it's basic requirement on any decent coach with positive win rate with any race. And of all the races that are in Blood Bowl, dwarves are certainly the safest race of them all because it's all about movement, where their risks are, and you have only very few actions you absolutely cannot fail each turn.
No. I disagree with that. I think that the dwarves, because of the movement, have the biggest liability, where they can be OP or they can be really easy mode or whatever for a really good coach on positioning. But if your positioning is not on point on dwarves, you can quickly find that ball taken away and you find yourself most of the game, down and chasing after somebody you can't catch. So I think you're taking it for granted that the coaches are that good, because you got to be good to play dwarves effectively.
I'm thinking as granted that if you are a good coach with dwarves, you are good for positioning, because that is essentially what separates dwarves from other races. You can have weaknesses in various parts of your playstyle. With different races, but on each race there is some area you absolutely have to excel if you want to be successful, and with dwarves it's obviously positioning.
Okay, so quick pop quiz.
With movement.
Has Bernie played himself into a potential surf here? Is there a way to surf this ball carrier?
Okay, with frenzy only, if there's frenzy in range. 1, 2,
there is.
3, 4,
there is frenzy in
5,
range.
6, 7, 8. With 6 plus dodge, I think. Yes, and red eye 1.
Alright, so walk me through that. How does he surf the ball carrier?
Dodge with wolf. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, he is 1 movement short.
Oh, okay.
With even wait, no, that shouldn't change, I think. Oh no, he can surf. He does not have to go all around, and it's either way a dodge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
looks like that's
8,
what he's gonna try
9.
to do.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
No, he is not. But that would be a 6 plus. But first,
another stun.
Doesn't really matter. Bernie is not in scoring range, well. Surprise, surprise.
Let's see where the 5 surf was. Where was the surf on the ball carrier?
It was if he dodged between the movement runner and dwarf he blitzed, and it would be surf after frenzy.
So it'll be 33. Okay, gotcha. Be 33%.
It's pretty much impossible to surf, but.
Well, I mean, low probability, and at this point, in turn 14, maybe you have to risk it. You think? I think you got to take every shot on the ball.
He doesn't have receivers. He absolutely needs receivers.
Now he does.
Before doing that.
You got Wolf number 10 is going to have to run down the sideline.
No, he does. I think that's a little bit reckless by Bernie. Well,
to
he
leave him
will
out there?
still win. Yeah, but. You are a seasoned elf coach. Would you disagree with me on statement that easiest way to win against Elven passing game is to remove each and every scoring threat they have and just put pressure on the throw.
Yeah, the problem is, removing each and every scoring threat is really hard because almost like linemen are scoring threats.
Everyone is in range.
Oh, right. Okay. No, yeah. If I would rather, if I'm on defense against elves, I first cover the catchers, no matter what, because that thrower, you can go after the ball, and if you don't have the ball in your hands when it's done, they'll manage to get it away from you, and somebody's getting that ball downrange. So I try to keep them from having somebody to throw to first. Then I worry about going after the thrower. So Bernie not going to go for the score, it looks like. He's just setting up that cage.
The cage is loose.
Whoa. Midfield. No, it's a tight cage.
Jump up.
All right, this is where you gotta.
It's still a red eye, and like.
Of course. Hey, for you young coaches, number one thing after you're picking up people or whatever, the first thing you do, before you roll any dice at all, this is turn 15. If you do not have a threat in scoring range and something goes wrong with those dice, and Gimlick doesn't have any rerolls, right? You're done. There is no last turn 16 comeback. That piece right there, that wolf, needs to be the first one that you get up and move before you throw any dice. So this is a tactical mistake by Gimlick that he doesn't pay for right here. But that wolf should have been the first one he stood up, unless he's blitzing with him somehow. I don't see, no, there's no way. That's his only way he's going to score a touchdown. That's the first guy he should have moved. Now he moves him into scoring range. He puts him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out, so he can afford to get knocked back one by Bernie the next turn.
Do you like in general the way he did this? He does need somebody to throw the ball if he gets insanely lucky.
Oh, you're right.
But
you're right.
Nobody.
He's just taking blocks.
Well, okay, no, it's absolutely nothing. I think Bloodlust certainly got into Gimlick's head.
Mm-hmm. This is not that I've seen. Gimlick is a great coach. I've played against him, and this is not his best showing. It seems like the blitz and the early removals in the first half really got in his head. He made errors that compounded bad dice. And to those of you, I mean, those of us. You included, Trip, everybody here, we've all had those games like that where you just get beat the hell up really bad in the beginning and you get really frustrated because you know you're going to be spending the next hour and a half of your life, dealing with this crap, like sitting through a game where you basically can't do anything and you're paralyzed. And the best thing you can do is stay disciplined. At some point, there's going to be a small crease, and that's when you pounce. And I definitely think that while I agree that Bernie got hands down the best dice in this game, all throughout the game the dice were better for Bernie. There were things that Bernie did to take advantage of his great dice and make them and put him in a better position to keep throwing good dice. And there are a lot of things that Gimlick did, presumably out of frustration, to allow him to keep throwing dice in a way that wasn't necessarily as advantageous to him as they could have been, and ended up making the situation worse.
I think he was just a little bit too optimistic in calling his shots. Of course, if he got his removals and half of the dwarves were out, we would be saying that's absolute genius. Well, I wouldn't be saying because... So.
But I get what you mean.
I judge decisions, not the dice, and while Bernie did have to make quite a bit of decisions this game in his play style, none of Bernie's decisions were critical to making him lose the game or not. There was very little on the line for Bernie's decision.
I want to point out real quick, Gimlick decided to keep that player, AZ, who he recruited from my Swag City MCs, AZ. And, yeah. But this is where his career ends.
he scores on whichever team he is. He loses.
Absolutely. But yeah, Mojo points out BernieBuffon going to the World Cup. Woo-hoo. This will be Bernie's first win after many, many seasons. Bernie appearing in probably more playoffs than any other coach in the Champion Cup, and took him until now
pretty much guaranteed
to get the win. All right, let's see if we can.
I'm just happy Bernie. And I think so. Bernie is, even if slightly but significantly better coach than myself, and he is certainly trying so much harder than I do on any given season.
You cannot give the man a compliment. Even the best compliment you could give him was the most backhanded compliment. I think he's a better coach. Tripp's compliment to Bernie. I think he's a better coach than me, maybe a little bit better, but he's also what was the last part? I forgot. He's also lucky.
He's even if slightly but significantly. You left out that important part.
Hey Gim, tough dice game for you. Do you think frustration set in early?
Yeah, very early after the 5th defensive blitz against me in this tournament.
Yeah,
I have had so many defense blitzes against me.
Your team threw 49 blocks.
You deserve that.
Your team threw 49 blocks, which is 7 less than turn 25. Never forgotten. They got 5 armor breaks though, compared to their 24. And you inflicted, here we go, check out these numbers, a grand total of 0 KOs, 0 injuries inflicted, and 0 kills. You did manage to get 2 yards running, though, so that was the total offensive output. Wow, Bernie's team holding the ball 93% of the time.
Yeah, I got my hands on the ball for a short period of time. I tried to make it safe, and then fell apart again with the blitz. The blitz where Bernie was.
You got your hands on the ball. You got your hands on less balls than Amish women.
Yeah,
that's how that goes.
That's true.
BernieBuffon, first championship ever after 15 seasons of toiling in the fields, waiting for the harvest to come, waiting to reap the benefits of the seeds that you sowed and planted and waited for them to blossom into crops. And here you are. How does it feel?
Like a great weight is lifted off my shoulders. The amount of times I've heard people say,
I told her.
Yeah, it's like the amount of people said, I can't believe you've never won one of these championships. And you hear it all the time, and it's been hard work. I mean, some seasons I have gone in with fun teams, but I have tried and I've had heartbreak along the way. I'm just so happy because it feels like I've won it now, so I don't have to worry about people saying that again. But
on Tripp's level,
I've made more money than you, Trip. I made way more. How much money you made? How much money you made again?
All right, let's not. Ding. Okay. I just want to point out that how poetically fitting it is. The name of the team is Turn 25, Never Forgotten. Turn 25 being back in season 1 when your dwarf team lost because you didn't realize there was no Turn 25. You lost in penalties.
Yes, not lost. Robbed. We was robbed, not lost. We don't use that word.
Was it Demented?
Sorry.
Whose Wood Elves was it? Demented's Wood Elves?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, do you remember when we was kicking the crap out of the tree for about 16 turns?
Yep. So we don't know for sure that you would have won the championship in that season, but your hopes were definitely cut short, and that was never forgotten. And here they are, having never forgotten, back for that championship that they always wanted. Congratulations.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. I mean, it's funny, isn't it? Because after the first 2 seasons, I thought I'm never going to play Dwarfs again, and over the seasons, I've been getting tired of Blood Bowl, and like the grind's been catching up on me. So I've been playing less and less, and I've been streaming more and more and stuff like that. And I thought, God, I've got to have a team on the PS4 because I'm a PS4 admin, and and I was thinking, what shall I do? And I just thought of the fluff of season 1, and just for a laugh, all it was a laugh. And we'll bring it back. We'll bring the SAS back, obviously Serious Jest and some Mandidi. We'll bring a few of the other guys back, and then they just kept winning. And then triperis was I'm going to go about our record, saying it was crap. So that was so that we used that as motivation. And we had a horrendous last game of the ladder, and I was appalled, and I was away and just give me a bollocking, because he was like, mate, that was just shit, basically. And we went away, and even in the playoffs, I've not played well. I've not played well, and I'll tell you what really. I mean, obviously it wasn't easy to, but that was the dream way it could have ever gone. But obviously, I as you know, Jesse, I study games and everything like that. I studied all of Gimlick's playoff games and all that. And the key game, what sunk in my head, is when he played against the Orcs. And the Orcs just got separated. And Gimlick, as a class coach he is, he just kept picking them off with his wolves all over the place. Right. And Arswin as well was saying, stay together. You've got to stay together. And everything from turn 1, it was, right, okay, he's going to get the ball. We'll stay together, stay together, stay together. And then we got the blitz. And then that wasn't easy to get the ball back. And then it was like, get the ball, then get it back and all that. And it was just, I just kept hammering in my head, stay together, stay together, stay together. And that's what we did. And like I said, well played game. I mean, that was a horrid game for you. I mean, I did tell you I was bringing my Shagrath dice, though. That was the only time I fired.
Yeah, I didn't get anything at all in the whole of this game. It was, but that happens.
It does. It does.
So
but
it's hard to play with 5 or 6 zombies on the pitch.
Yeah, I always put the thing is, I think it was 10-14. I thought I'm going to make a move, and I probably shouldn't have done. But I was like, look, if I'm going to 10 over, I want to 10 over right over there, and that sort of shows how much of a good coach you had. Because although you had loads of players off the pitch, I was still worried that you could get the ball off me. And it's just great because, like, obviously we're both good friends, and it was, if I'd lost, I'd have been gutted, but at least it'd have been softened because obviously you'd have won it. But yeah, the admin's curse is over. And it's quite fitting that
first admin to win one as an admin, right?
It's still there. I didn't win. I lost.
Bernie's the first admin to win as an admin. Normally, we have to go out and recruit the winners, make them admins to get credibility.
Yeah. And the only thing it took is to kick Serious Jest out of admins, then hack Gimlick's game that there would be absolutely no way admin could not win the final. So well done, you finally found the winning formula.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I can't explain how much of a weight off my shoulders though. I mean, I didn't think I was that bothered. I really didn't. It's like when people say, "Hey man, I can't believe I won one." You're like, "Yeah, whatever." I didn't think it really bothered me, and now I've won it. All of a sudden, I just feel, I don't know. I just feel, oh God, it doesn't matter what happens now. I've done it.
It's no brainer. You're a passionate coach. Even if you would deny that, you obviously care. You obviously care more than most of us about Blood Bowl in general. So
yeah, thanks, Trip. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it was a good game. I don't know really what else to say. I'm just mentally tired. It's like, I don't know. I mean, it's quite funny because obviously I was saying to the missus, right, I've got a game at 9 o'clock. It's my final. Unless the house is on fire, don't bother me. And the dog kept coming in, so I kept putting the dog out. And she's like, you know what wives are like. It's like, oh yeah, you're playing the game, whatever. It's the final, big deal. Yeah. Well, €500 to the winner.
Yeah,
and all of a sudden, what was that?
Yeah.
What? What's this final? Oh,
do you want €500 or do you not want €500?
God damn it,
woman! Get out!
But yeah, I mean, like I said,
Gimlet's still in the money, so you can take that away. Well. So. Don't feel too bad about it, Gim. You had...
No. I It's
And
great.
you'll always have that epic Flesh Golem touchdown for the win in the semifinals. So. No one will ever forget that.
And it's quite strange. I don't know if you share that feeling in Gimlick versus Serious Jest game. I was quite furious at the finish just because of empathy. How many times that has happened for me. Gimlick threw me out of playoffs twice because of blitz and ball falling where that mattered, blitz and whatnot, and just those random dice throwing everything out. It doesn't matter how good you are, doesn't matter how good team you built, you are out when you're out. But in this game, with Gimlick getting this win last round, and Bernie in so many attempts and at his skill level being so unlucky not to win it, earlier, it kind of feels like cosmic justice got served to everyone involved.
I'll tell you what's really interesting, quickly, is I think when I've watched a lot of these games, I've streamed a lot of these games, and I've figured, and this is only guess, I don't know nothing, if it's true or not, but I've seen a lot of these games, and the first kickoff is always a bad one for the receiving team. There's a lot of defense blitzes, the first kickoff, or something bad happened on the first kickoff, and if I won the toss, I was thinking to myself, my conversation was, you've got to stay positive and receive. Don't believe in all this myth about it's always a blitz on first turn. So I'm lucky he won the toss because I was going to receive and he would have been a whole different game.
That would have been his blitz.
And I would have been cursing. I told you. Yeah, so I was lucky, and I mean I don't know if it was a good game to watch because obviously it was pretty one-sided, but I don't care. I
had fun. I mean I had fun. So. But yeah, I would definitely say though, back to you're comparing.
Watch, mostly because the outcome was clear quite early, but it was interesting to see what Gimlick could craft, what choices would he make, and you, Bernie, you also made your choices. If you rewatch the stream, we or at least instigated by me, were talking about you being ultra conservative, then switching it up a little bit at some point. So it was interesting to see there were still just interesting decisions involved in the game.
I wanted to switch up from a few things. I was throwing a few 1-down blocks, and in the second half I was burning through them re-rolls. I was like, no, this is it. We win it. We've got to win it now. And I was just trying to slow his second wolf down and everything, and I had a game plan and it worked, and that's thing. The only panicking thing is when I rolled 1-1 with Mercy in the second half to pick the ball up, but I sort of dropped my other Longbeard there just in case that happened. But yeah, as soon as we got the ball again, I was thinking one thing I thought. I mean, I don't know if you caught it on stream is when he blitzed, or well, Gimlick sees, so he'll be able to tell us as well. But when you blitzed your wolf through and you hit my blitzer, I was almost certain you were going to blitz the ball carrier, and you rolled the skull in the end, and I was so relieved at that because I was like, I'm sure he could have got to the ball carrier. It'd have been harder, but
it would have been a lot harder. I think that he
was it.
I think what he was trying
I wasn't
to do.
Sure.
If he, the thing was, yeah, it would have been a lot harder. It would have been the dice would have. I don't think he could have got first of all a 2-die block on him, and I think
it would never get 2 blocks. It would have got 2-die block on anything.
1 dice.
Sorry.
At best, at best, a 1-die with more dice. Yeah, I think he made the right call in that respect. But that was what we were more kind of perplexed was, and we figured it was just like a snap judgment. You chose to stand firm with the guy that he hit. If you hadn't used your stand firm, he would have frenzied into a red die block. So we were wondering why.
But the problem was, if I didn't stand firm, I think I did that. His other wolf could mark the ball. So by standing firm, he couldn't bring his other wolf onto the ball, so I could clear it a lot easier. And that's the reason why I did it. I mean, obviously, it's the final. If people die, I'm sorry, but you've all got to die for the cause. And that's why I stand firm, because if you, well, you probably won't look at it back, but I'd already counted when he rolled a double one, what his wolves could do, and got a game plan for it. Because I knew he was going to blitz the stand firm guy, because that was the right call. So yeah, it wasn't a mistake. It was a decision that I kept him there. I knew I had to give the two lots on it, but if I didn't, and like I say, it could have rolled red die and got 2 pushes, or it could have got a power, 2 powers. So by standing firm, it made sure his other wolf could not tag the ball, and then I just had to clear one wolf and get the ball and try and make it safe. So that's the reason why I did
super conservative. That is a super conservative move, but I see your reasoning for it. So it's again,
I was telling Bernie was in super conservative. You can't go more conservative than Bernie.
No, well, I mean, I respect the ball. You 1-0 up on this drive, so you don't need to score. It's all about using your guard, sticking together. Because if you don't stick together, then Wolves would rip me apart. Luckily, one had gone off on his jolly with Arzawin, and you know, you've got what you got to remember. I'm against an absolute fantastic coach. You know, I'm not playing a noob. I'm playing fucking Gimlick, who's an ex-world champion as well. You know, a PS4 champion as well, and he's kicked everybody's ass. So I ain't going to do anything stupid. And the thing is, it would have been so hypocritical of me after streaming most of his games to say, bloody hell, the opponent blew it there. Shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have done that. And if I tried a crazy play, then you know I'm just as bad as the rest of them. So I felt I had to like lead from example and just shield wall it, and that's what dwarfs do. You know, get them together, and it's hard to get the ball from them, and that's what I did. But yeah, I am conservative. I always have been. And like I said, I wanted this win so bad.
Yeah, and I tried to hit one dwarf at a time. Tried to get something, but they didn't.
Yeah,
break this time.
but the problem, and I think myself and Just agreed at some point, especially in first half, you were giving away like 3 blocks on your players against with Mighty Blow, and you being evade for 1 blitz at time. So we thought that maybe it would have been smarter, since your regent did work. Your kills, you didn't get that much damage first half. It might have been smarter just to lay prone and tighten your enough.
Yeah. It was in the first half I lost a lot of players really early because I tried really hard to get the ball back, and then my blood sure-handed guy got served and hurt instead of just pushed out of the pitch. But that happens. But I tried really hard to get the ball back, and that was why I gave away a lot of hits, because I couldn't break the dwarfs. I couldn't get any dwarfs off.
Yeah, I mean that's it. I mean, that was the game.
It was tough with the blitz when that happened, and you got the ball, you dropped the ball, if I made the pass to my wolf, it might have been better, because you maybe had one who could maybe hit him, but you might not be able to retrieve the ball, and it's been a big scramble for the ball.
Yeah, no, early on, I thought he dealt with the blitz very well. Gimlick did, considering what the dice were. He made the right moves. The dice just failed him, and then it just snowballed. And then later he made some bad decisions. Like you went into desperation mode, allowing your ghoul to get surfed like that. That was one of the major mistakes to let Bernie get the crease. And then it just kept going. So it just felt like you got some really bad dice. You responded like the Gimlick that we all know. You made all the right moves. You made all the right coaching decisions. Then the dice screwed you again, and then you started getting frustrated and started doing desperate things. And then Bernie just went in on you because you gave him the opening.
Well, not desperate, but laser focused, like not considering a wider array of options. Because just as you said, trying to get the ball back as soon as you could, so you didn't consider it's much easier to get the ball with 11 players than it is with 7.
I mean, the thing
and
is,
doing it with 7, you would lose more players, so you would risk not even having 11 players in second half.
I think it's a bit unfair on Gim though, because he was losing players left, right, and centre, and if and obviously because I had the numbers, I could have just stuck 2 on him and outguarded him and beat the crap out of him anyway. I mean, he's done it before where he's tried to get the ball back and he's had a lot of success doing it. So it's just that the final, it just didn't happen. But if you look back at a lot of his games, even in the ladder, he's actually gone with this approach, and because he's such a class coach, he's been able to get that gap and get the ball back. So it's not this is the first time he's done this. He's done this with a lot of success. And if you have a tactic what wins your games, you keep with it. And he didn't want me to score because it's his drive. So any chance he was going to get the ball back, he was going to try it. And if he lost players, he had regen and he had obviously the everything things on the bench.
The regen worked this time.
Yeah, the regen worked. So I don't think he did much wrong, to be honest.
Yeah, but my point, we all have done both borderline genius plays when our risk-taking aligns with Nuffle, and once in 6 times, 6+ works. But this is not best of 3. This is not best of 5. You have only 1 game.
Right.
So getting on 6+, that's something that's desperation play. It doesn't matter that you would increase your win rate by 16% because that's only 1 game.
Well, I would say my comment is more directed. It's like he was a little less. Gimlick is usually he made some positioning mistakes, I felt, that were the result of frustration in so focused on getting the ball back that the leaving the ghoul to get surf was the first major mistake that started the snowball of then it went from you got some really bad dice and then you made it so you had to throw more disadvantageous dice, and then the dice just kept it like Nuffle was not going to bail you out with, well, I screwed you in the beginning, so I'm going to give you some good dice now here's some more shitty dice, and then it just got worse and worse and worse. So
I think in general, Gimlick, you might want to play more elves because at that position it was looking, oh shit, Necro will be forced to play like elves because they can't stop the drive. So essentially, take odd blitz and try to survive.
I might go elves.
All I'll say, I know I'm sticking up for Gimme, but how many finals has he got in with elves, and how many finals has he got in with Necro, and how many championships has he won with Necro? He's a bloody good Necro player.
It's not all about Bernie. In principle, it's not about getting in finals. It's being a better coach, because being better coach gets you into finals.
And that's what he's done. That's what he's done. He's got to
beating the same bush, like Blobskill's final. He won doing one exact thing without any flexibility, and he has won it. But if you want to improve as a coach, there will always be games like that when suddenly you are not playing like Necro team despite being Necro team. There are a lot of play styles in Blood Bowl, and they switch depending on the situation on
pitch. Would have been better in this game for me, because
the team would not be better, but some tactics from other teams where other teams need to employ that much more often. This was an odd game. Let's all agree on that. It was not fair from the start. So it's quite normal odd things happen. Like maybe I'm not saying it's right, but Necro benefiting from Elven kind of play, at least for a certain amount of time.
All I'm going to say to that, I'm not getting into the argument here. All I'm going to say is, Gimlick, you're a class act. You play Necro fantastically well. It's in the records. You look at all the lads you played Necro, you've always been there or thereabouts to them, you've all had brilliant records, you've won a championship with them, you've got to a final, and basically, let's be honest, you got Nuffle tonight. So, to me, if you want to win stuff, stick with Necro. If you want to go with else, go with else. But I'm just going to say this now: you're definitely one of our best Necro coaches, and I hope to see them again.
Absolutely agree with that.
It's a thing for me.
No argument about that.
I love them.
Hey, I want to shout out a couple guys from the chat before I gotta go. My station manager is telling me that the station president is crying and needs to be fed. But I did want to shout out Abaddon. Hilarious comment. He said if it was him, he would tell his wife that that there was 250 euros on the line instead. So this way he actually gets to see some of the money. Also, Mercy Flush is pointing out that this should be a real question that's dominating headlines. Is Mercy Flush a better quarterback than Tom Brady now? That's going to be on the cover of the next Spike magazine. Definitely. Mercy Flush, better than Tom Brady. Absolutely.
He's the reincarnation of the postman. The postman died, and he reincarnated himself as Mercy Flush.
As Mercy Flush. So, I like it. I like the return to the using the Blood Bowl coaches. And somebody else said it too. I forgot who. Maybe it was Shad who said, it feels like those of us who were lucky enough to be named on Turn 25, Never Forgotten, have also won a championship because we're on that team. So this was kind of like a community championship if you think about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jump on that Bernie movement. Feel the movement. Feel the burn.
The last thing I've got to say, and it's a message to Serious Jest, and the simple thing is, your tip has no power here.
I guess this means I do pick winners. My one time I picked the champion. I'm 1 for 1. I picked the champion, right? And there it is. I'm 1 for 1. I'm like a sniper. I'm done. I'm never going to pick anybody else again. I'm retiring at 100% win rate.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, but stock tips are next.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Have a good one, guys. It's my pleasure. Thanks for joining me, Trip.
Yeah.
Thanks for everyone in the chat that joined us. And this was just another display by two great coaches. The dice were one-sided, but the play was not. All right, have a good one, everybody. And we are out of here.